Can you imagine spending over $2,000 or even $3,000 on an iPhone? It might sound crazy, but with the way things are going between the United States and China, it could become a reality very soon. Right now, the US-China trade war is heating up fast. The US has placed a massive 245% tariff on products coming from China, and China has responded with a 125% tariff of its own. But it doesn't stop there. China is also cutting off the export of rare earth minerals, which are essential in making smartphones and other electronics. China controls about 70 to 80% of these materials, so this move could seriously hurt US tech companies. One of the biggest companies caught in the middle is Apple. While other phone makers like Samsung do most of their manufacturing in places like Vietnam, Apple still relies heavily on China. In fact, about 90% of iPhones are made in China. This puts Apple in a tough spot. Recently, Apple had to ship around $2 billion worth of iPhones from India to the US just to avoid production issues in China during the ongoing conflict. There's even talk of making iPhones in the United States, but that wouldn't be easy. Building new factories would cost Apple billions, and some reports it could push the price of an iPhone all the way up to $3,500. That's just not realistic for most people. For now, smartphones like the iPhone have been temporarily excluded from tariffs, but that protection might not last much longer. Special tariffs on smartphones, laptops, and semiconductors could come soon. If that happens, prices are expected to go up by 15 to 20%. That would push the top-tier iPhone 17 Pro past the $2,000 mark. At the moment, it costs Apple around $550 to build an iPhone. If manufacturing shifts or material costs rise, those numbers will go up, and you can bet those extra costs will be passed on to customers. Meanwhile, the iPhone 17 Pro is expected to bring big camera improvements. Apple may finally add a 48-megapixel 5x zoom lens, meaning all three rear cameras, the wide, ultra-wide, and zoom, could shoot at 48 megapixels. This will give users a consistent high-resolution photo and video experience, possibly even with 8K video across all lenses. Along with hardware upgrades, iOS 19 is also expected to get a fresh look. According to recent leaks, Apple might be adding more animated elements to the entire interface. For example, lock screen toggles could move based on how you're holding your phone, and app icons might slightly change shape when you tap them. These changes could make the iPhone feel more dynamic without being a huge visual shift. As for design, new hands-on leaks show the iPhone 17 Pro with a cleaner look. Instead of a bold black camera bump, Apple might go with a color-matched camera area that blends into the back of the phone. It's a small change, but one that makes the phone look a little more polished. Of course, all of these updates, new cameras, new software, and a new look, won't matter if people can't afford the phone. The trade war between the US and China could ruin Apple's entire release strategy if prices go too high or if production slows down. Is Samsung finally ready to take the next big step in foldable phones? It looks like we're getting very close. If recent reports are true, Samsung is preparing to begin mass production of its upcoming foldable phones, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and the Galaxy Z Flip 7, as early as next month. These two models are expected to be officially announced in July 2025, and this year Samsung might be expanding the foldable family even more by introducing a new, more affordable option, rumored to be called the Galaxy Z Flip FE. According to a new report from South Korea, Samsung Display, the company that makes the foldable OLED panels for Samsung phones, has already started making the screens for the Fold 7 and Flip 7. These panels will soon be delivered to Samsung Electronics, which plans to begin full-scale production of the phones in May. All of this happens mostly in Vietnam. Both Samsung Display and Samsung Electronics have large facilities there, and most Galaxy devices are assembled in Vietnam before they are shipped to countries around the world, including the United States. This timeline lines up well with Samsung's usual launch plans. The company typically holds its Summer Unpacked event in July, where it reveals its latest foldable devices. The Fold 7 and Flip 7 are expected to come with performance upgrades, software enhancements, and possibly some design changes. While we don't have confirmed specs just yet, fans are expecting slimmer bodies, better cameras, and improved battery life. The most interesting part of this year's foldable release might be the rumored Galaxy Z Flip FE. This would be a lower-priced version of the Flip, aimed at people who want the foldable experience without paying flagship-level prices. However, Samsung may choose not to release it at the same time as the other two devices. Instead, the company could wait until later in the year, possibly around October or November, to give the Fold 7 and Flip 7 time to shine on their own. There's a good reason for this strategy. If the more affordable Flip FE comes out at the same time as the Flip 7, it could take away some of its sales. By giving each phone its own launch window, Samsung avoids this issue and gets more attention for each model. There's also another foldable phone people are curious about, a trifold device that Samsung has been working on for some time. This phone would fold in more than one place and could give users a much larger screen and a pocket-sized device. However, it's still unclear if this model will launch in 2025 or if Samsung will wait a bit longer to perfect the technology. For now, the focus is clearly on the Fold 7, Flip 7, and possibly the Flip FE. And if Samsung sticks to its schedule, we're only a few months away from seeing these new devices hit the market. Foldable phones have become more popular in recent years, and Samsung continues to lead this category. While other companies like Google and Motorola have joined the competition, Samsung's experience and production capabilities give it a big advantage. The introduction of a more affordable model could help attract even more users and grow the foldable market further. So if you've been thinking about getting a foldable phone, this might be the right year. Whether you prefer the large, tablet-like screen of the Fold or the compact, stylish flip design, Samsung is about to give you new choices. And with the possible addition of the Flip FE, there may be a foldable phone for almost every budget. We'll keep an eye on all the latest updates, leaks, and official news. If you want to stay in the loop, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Google has finally introduced the Pixel 9a, a mid-range smartphone designed to offer solid performance at a competitive price. However, there's a compromise. This model doesn't have enough RAM to fully support Google's advanced AI features. Reports confirm that while the Pixel 9a does come with Google's Gemini Nano AI, it's a scaled-down version. Due to its 8 GB of RAM, the phone isn't capable of handling the full range of AI features that premium Pixel models offer. Users will still be able to access AI-driven tools through the power button or a dedicated app, but the processing will not be as fast or efficient as what's available on the higher-end models. With previous Pixel models, Google has been integrating AI-powered features using Gemini Nano, but the Pixel 9a takes a slightly different approach. Instead of using the standard Gemini Nano version found in more expensive models, this phone comes with a lighter variant called Gemini Nano 1.0XXA. Meanwhile, other Pixel 9 models run on a more capable version, Gemini Nano XS. The reason behind this difference is simple: memory capacity. High-end Pixel devices come with 12 GB of RAM, which allows them to process AI tasks smoothly. The Pixel 9a, on the other hand, only has 8 GB, making it less capable when it comes to handling these advanced functions. To maintain overall performance, Google had to make some adjustments, meaning that certain AI features won't be available on the Pixel 9a. This situation is similar to what happened with the Pixel 8, where Google initially announced that it wouldn't support Gemini Nano at all. However, the company later introduced a developer preview of a smaller AI model for that device. That same compact AI model is now being used in the Pixel 9a. So what does this mean for everyday use? The Pixel 9a will still support AI-driven tools, but they will function differently compared to flagship models. On premium devices, AI runs continuously in the background, providing instant access to features. With the Pixel 9a, however, AI functions will only activate when needed, which might cause slight delays in performance. Another drawback is that some AI-powered tools won't be included at all. For example, Pixel Screenshots, a feature designed to organize screenshots using AI, is missing. Similarly, Call Notes, which can summarize conversations using on-device AI, is not available. There is also uncertainty about whether the Pixel 9a will include Google's scam detection feature in the phone app. Google hasn't confirmed whether this function will be supported, so it remains unclear. On the positive side, recorded call summaries will still work. This feature doesn't rely entirely on AI processing, but instead transcribes the call and generates a summary based on the text. Because of this, users will still have access to this functionality without needing the full AI model. As of now, Google hasn't provided a complete list of missing AI features on the Pixel 9a. The phone is expected to launch in April, though an exact release date hasn't been announced yet. Once it becomes available, real-world testing will reveal which AI functions work as expected and which ones are left out. For those considering the Pixel 9a, it's important to be aware of these limitations before making a decision.